In this video, we want to configure IntelliJ IDEA so that we can actually start some Python coding. If you decided to install PyCharm instead, you can skip this first step, but keep watching because the steps after installing the Python plugin are also applicable to PyCharm. So what we want to do is two things. Firstly, we need to download and install a plugin for Python. And secondly, we need to associate the Python install that we've done previously in the course to IntelliJ IDEA so that they actually work together. So let's start with the plugin. On the welcome screen of IntelliJ IDEA, come over here to the left and click on Plugins. Now there's two tabs here. The Installed tab, as I click that, shows which plugins you've got installed. There are quite a few that are already installed, but Python isn't one of them. So click the Marketplace tab. This shows us all the plugins that are available. When you've been programming for a while, you'll more than likely find some useful ones here. But we're just starting and all we need is the Python Community Edition plugin. So rather than scrolling through the list, I'm going to type Python in this search box. Make sure you spell it correctly, otherwise it won't be found. Now the one we want is probably right at the top, the Python Community Edition. And you can see that is the case here. I'm going to come over here and click on Install to install it. Now if you get a privacy note, read it if you want and click Accept. Now whenever you install or update a plugin, you have to restart IntelliJ. So I'm going to click on the Restart IDE button and confirm that by clicking on Restart. Alright, so IntelliJ is restarted. We've now installed the plugin for Python and we can proceed to setting up the Python SDK. Basically that means telling IntelliJ where Python is installed on the computer. To create our virtual environment, we need to create a new project first. At the moment, when Projects is selected, to the left, there's three buttons available. New Project is used to create a new project, which is the one we'll use shortly. Open will let you open a project that you created earlier so that you can continue working with it. If you use a version control system, such as Git, then the Get from VCS button will fetch a project from your version control system, hence VCS. But don't worry if you don't know what a VCS is, you won't be using one until you've been programming for a little while. For now though, click on the New Project button. The New Project dialog, which has popped up, lets you choose which programming language you want to use. Now this is a Python course, so we're going to choose Python on the left-hand side. If you don't see Python there, then make sure you've installed the Python plugin and also make sure you restarted IntelliJ after you installed the plugin. Alright, so select Python. And you see that the right-hand pane changed. It's now asking us to specify a project SDK and shows us that we don't have one. And that's fine because when you click the drop-down box, there's an option to add Python SDK. And also note that IntelliJ has helpfully detected the SDK installation, the Python installation from an earlier video. IntelliJ is going to set that virtual environment up for us. And this actually can take a short while as the key Python files are copied to your new virtual environment directory. Alright, so as you can see, that's finished now. And we ended up back at the previous screen, but this time we now have a project SDK. In future, whenever you create a new project, make sure the SDK is selected in that project SDK box. All right, so that's the configuration complete. We're not going to create a new project just yet. With the earlier version of IntelliJ, it was possible to set up a virtual environment from the welcome screen. That option's been removed, which is why we've started to create a project. We want to click on Cancel now, and we'll actually create our first Python project in the next video.